Hello there, my name is Dominic and today I have the Infinix Zero Ultra, the Infinix phone with the biggest specifications, 180 watt standard charge, 200 megapixel main camera, a Dimensity 920 CPU, 3D curved AMOLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate, and a slimmer phone, as you'll find out later on in this video. After this quick unboxing session, I'm going to do a charging experiment where we will find out how long it will take this charger to fill this device from 0% to 100%. So this is the phone and it looks quite nice. This is the Course Light Silver version and this phone is slimmer than the other version. And over here you can see this is the 3D curved AMOLED screen. So as that boots up, let us check the other accessories. We have a SIM ejector tool, some paperwork that includes XPack and an X coin, the screen protector, and a limited edition animated NFT. You just have to scan the code to get your NFT. This is a raffle, of course. I will post a link in the description with more details. That's the card. We have a clear and flexible phone case. A USB Type-C 2 headphone adapter, hands-free headset, USB cable, and the massive 180 watt Thunder charger. So how long will this charger take to fill the 4500 mAh battery inside the Infinix Zero Ultra from 0% to 100%? Let's find out. The Zero Ultra has two charging voltages. It has 5 volts at 3 amperes, which is a lot, and then it has a range of 4 volts to 20 volts at 9 amperes, giving us a maximum of 180 watts. Time to turn on the power. It's now charging. It's already at 0% charge. For best results, it's better if you keep the phone off during charging. After 1 minute, we are already at 14%, 25% after only 2 minutes, 32% after 3 minutes, 37% after only 4 minutes. This is crazy. 41% after only 5 minutes, 45% after 6 minutes, 49% after 7 minutes, 53% after 8 minutes, 57% after 9 minutes, 61% after 10 minutes, 63% after 11 minutes, 65% after 12 minutes, 67% after 13 minutes, 69% after 14 minutes, 71% after 15 minutes, 76% after 16 minutes, 80% after 17 minutes, 84% after 18 minutes, 88% after 19 minutes, 93% after 20 minutes, 96% after 21 minutes, 98% after 22 minutes, and full battery capacity in only 23 minutes. 53% in only 8 minutes. That's very impressive of this phone. As far as the temperature goes, this phone is cool. It's not overheating. The only heat that I can feel is on the charger. So this charger is actually warm, very warm at the top here. Now that is an impressive charger right there. Now let's continue with the video. First of all, the physical attributes of the phone. The Zero Ultra looks absolutely stunning. It has a front dot-in display camera, and the main attraction on the screen is that it's actually curved. You can see over here it's curved on the left as well as on the right sides. This is what Infinix is calling a 3D design. At the back we have a triple rear camera setup with the main lens being 200 megapixels, and that's very big. It has a Zero logo over here. So this back surface is fingerprint proof, so you can comfortably use this phone without using the provided phone case, because you won't be wiping fingerprints all the time on this phone. So look at how slim this phone is. Like I said, this is a slimmer phone. It measures 8.76 millimeters. This is the Course Light Silver version. There is another version known as Genesis Noir, and that is a little bit thicker at 9.16 millimeters. On the right side of the phone, you can see the power button as well as the volume buttons. Now you'll notice that we don't have a fingerprint scanner on the power button as well as at the back of the phone. Well, that's because the Zero Ultra actually has an in-screen fingerprint scanner right over here. At the bottom we have quite some number of ports. Starting on the right side we have the speaker, the USB Type-C port, the microphone and the SIM tray. Now this SIM tray can hold nano SIM cards, one at the bottom and one at the top. So one thing that's missing on this SIM tray is the availability of an SD card slot. I don't think you will need an SD card because this phone has 256 GB of internal storage. At the top we have a secondary microphone as well as another speaker port. So let's do a sound test on the Zero Ultra. So the Zero Ultra has some very good sound. It has some good bass as well as some high-end and mid-range, and I could feel like the sound was reverberating on the back cover. I think that makes it a little bit louder. So overall, I like the sound system on the Zero Ultra. Very good quality sound. As you are aware, the Infinix Zero Ultra does not have a headphone jack, and for that, Infinix has provided us with this adapter. This is a USB Type-C to headphone jack. You can use this with your headset or you can use wireless earbuds with Bluetooth. The Zero Ultra also has dual notification zones. On the left side we have the actual notifications and on the right side we have the drop down menu. And you can see that this phone has a different user interface than the Note series has. So let's take a look at the settings and see the specifications on the Zero Ultra. So the Zero Ultra is powered by a Dimensity 920 CPU. It has a 32 megapixel front camera, a 200 megapixel OIS Triple rear camera setup at the back with quad flash, 8 GB of RAM, 256 GB internal storage, a 4500 mAh battery. The display is a 6.8 inch or 172 millimeters. It is a Full HD plus curved AMOLED screen with 120 Hz refresh rate with 1080 by 2400 screen resolution. And of course, this phone runs on Android 12 operating system. The official RAM version on the Zero Ultra is 8 GB, but you can add up to 5 GB of the ROM to get up to 13 GB of RAM, which is quite a lot to be honest. What about the sensors on the Zero Ultra? I can comfortably say that you can use this phone as a very good gaming device. So let's see the other specifications. First of all, the CPU. So the Dimensity 920 CPU is an Octa-core 2.5 GHz MT6877V processor, and this phone has a Mali-G68 MC4 GPU. When it comes to the sensors, we've already seen that this phone has an in-screen fingerprint scanner. So this phone has an accelerometer, orientation sensor, a magnetic sensor, proximity sensor, light sensor, rotation sensor. The Gyroscope is also available, very good for gaming. The gravity sensor is also available. The temperature, pressure and humidity sensors are not available. And finally, the game rotation, step detector and step counter sensors are available. What about the camera? Now the Infinix Zero Ultra has the biggest camera sensor that I have ever handled on a smartphone. That's because it has a 200 megapixel main camera at the back. This is a triple rear camera setup at the back, and the other camera we can see over here is a macro camera, and I believe that's a depth sensor with quad flash. In normal mode, that's when the 200 megapixel is not selected, the Zero Ultra will take photos using the 12.58 megapixel option. These are all the options on the camera, and then two new things that I can see over here is dual video and sky shop, and we will see some sample photos and videos later on in this video. When it comes to video recording, the Zero Ultra has a maximum video recording quality of 4K at 30 frames per second, although it also has 1080p at 60 as well as 30 frames per second, the lowest being 720p at 30 frames per second. Now when it comes to the front camera, it's a little bit different because the front camera, the maximum recording quality is 1080p at 30 frames per second, although this phone also has 1080p at 60 frames per second. So this phone also has video stabilization on both the front and rear cameras. And now let's take a look at a few photo and video samples that I took using the Infinix Zero Ultra. I'm now recording using the Zero Ultra using the front camera, and the maximum video quality on the front camera is 1080p at 30 frames per second. Although if I choose to, I can actually select 1080p at 60 frames per second. The front camera also has stabilization. This is without stabilization. This is with ultra steady on, and you can see that the footage is smooth. And one more thing, you cannot select 60 FPS with ultra steady on. This is the latest feature on the Zero Ultra, which is dual video mode, where I can record using the front and rear cameras at the same time. The disadvantage is that we don't have video stabilization in dual video mode. Now on the screen, you can give priority either to the rear camera or the front camera, and when you start recording, you can't do this. So you have to do this before you start recording. So let me give you a few samples of the dual video mode. And this is a sample of the dual video mode. Maximum quality is 1080p at 30 frames per second. And there is no stabilization using dual video mode. That's how the quality is. So that was my assessment of the Infinix Zero Ultra, a very high-spec phone with very great features. And I was very impressed by the charging times using the 180-watt charger over here. So how much do you think this phone costs? Please tell me in the comments below. As of right now, I don't have the price, but when I get the price, I will post it in the pinned comment as well as in the video description below. That's it. Thank you for watching. Post any questions you may also have about the Infinix Zero Ultra in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer them. That's it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.